Hi friends, I'm back again. This is Corky, the Plum Creek Booksmith. I have another junk journal for you. I had gotten this little Victorian era scrapbook several months ago at a little antique store in western Nebraska. The guy had it on his shelf in his office, and he actually just threw it in with a lot of other things that I had purchased. And I thought it was just an empty scrapbook or photo book, but I mainly fell in love with the cover. And it wasn't until I got in the car that when I was flipping through what I thought was an empty scrapbook, all of these goodies were in the back of it. And there's newspaper clippings like poems and articles of interest to whoever was collecting. And then there's all of these little bits and pieces of ephemera. They're beautiful. And so just so I don't forget, all of these will be going with the journal when I sell it, because they just need to stay together. So I gutted the journal, I cleaned up the cover, and I sealed it with, let's see, it was a gloss medium. I am a good friend with an artist, and at first I wanted to use a matte medium, but she said with the black surface that I'd be better off going with the gloss, because the matte would have made it muddy. So I'm so glad I talked to her before I did it, because I think this turned out really pretty and gave it new life. So we'll just get started here. The book itself is almost 11 tall. It's 8.5 wide, and it has about an inch and a quarter spine, and the signatures are sewn inside. And the inside of the spine has been reinforced with a black calico fabric, and the signatures have been sewn into a black calico fabric as well that matches what I lined the inside with. There's 104 pages total, and lots of ephemera, lots of digitals, lots of authentic ephemera as well. I have the front cover here, and I've made this little flip up. You can journal here, journal up here, which is another ledger paper, and then a flower. And then there's a pocket back behind here that holds some large, tall, I guess I shouldn't say large, but tall flashcards. And then there's a pocket here. Oops. And it holds a homemade envelope, and it has a little pretty girl inside it. And then there's also a tuck spot here, and it holds some ephemera. Well, this is a printout. I had gotten a scrapbook probably 3 or 4 years ago about the same era, late 1800s, early 1900s scrapbook, and I harvested a whole bunch of little pictures and cards and business collector cards and things like that. And so I scanned them all, and they are available on my Etsy. So a lot of the pieces in this book are from my digital kit as well. So then I was having trouble keeping this thing from flopping back and forth, especially when opening and closing the front cover. So I have this little paper clip, and it just slides right here and secures secures the flap from flapping. Okay, so this is an original Valentine postcard, and I wish I could tell you the date on it, but I thought that was pretty, and it's included. This is a copy of a fan that was in another group of postcards that I received or I bought not too long ago. There's 3 of them, so there's 3 signatures, so there's one on each signature front that is used as a tuck spot. There's a pretty lace that adorns the first page of each signature. This is a book page from a late 1800s pharmacy book. I wanted something with large format, and so I used that. And here's an old journal page that I was trying some different techniques on, and so it was painted. And then this is a pretty little girl that was in that first scrapbook that I was telling you about, and there's digital available on my Etsy. I'll put a link to it down below if anybody's interested. I think they turned out really sweet. I love that era of ephemera. Here's a little digital or a journal card, and it's attached with the rusty paper clip. And I love this background page. What I had to do, since it's so large, I needed to make some Franken pages. So I did some printouts of some of the pretty backgrounds that I like, and I sewed them up the middle so that they would make a large spread. And so I thought, well, since you're not really going to be journaling on this will be a good place for a tuck or a little pocket. And so this one's available, and this one is too. I love this 2 little girls playing catch. And I juiced this one up a little bit with a piece of lace here and a lace across the bottom. This little bird's looking down at these little girls playing. Some more of my pretty digital backgrounds that I've made, or I've sewn it together. Here's some original ephemera. It's just, I think it's an invoice, and then it's put on this, what this was I think it was a check register, and this particular piece that I got at an auction was this check register where all the checks were gone, but whoever owned it used it as a way to keep all of his documents that he'd paid. And so I love that, and so it's just a fun little piece. Gives you extra writing space. I love these little girls. Pretty little journal card. And then I made a belly band out of these really old envelopes that don't even, the glue had gone away, and so they made these pretty rustic looking spots. And then I glued down the flap and made it a little tuck spot for these chemistry flashcards. These are original. And then this cute little card was in that original scrapbook as well. And this is a little tuck spot again. This flips out, and there's a really pretty ornate, I think what it was the front page of an old music book. So I scanned it and I got rid of all of the verbiage inside here, and I just think that makes a really pretty frame. And then these pretty gals dancing. And there's another piece of that check register, and it's $18.90 is what it was made for. There's another fan that's used as a tuck spot. I thought I'd throw in some of these original ephemeras. They're just sitting in boxes. They need to be where somebody can use them and enjoy them. This, however, unfortunately, the little head of this Cupid or angel came off, but the rest of it works. And it's old and it's authentic, and so very Victorian. It needed to be in the scrapbook. Another pretty little card. Now, like I said earlier, this is not original. It's a digital. It's a digital. So there's a layaway ticket in this little tuck spot, and this was another image from that first scrapbook. And I put this little bow applique, and I put a little button here with a bow tie and a little safety pin. And this is an authentic farm lease from 1905. I got it at the same little antique store that this book came from. One of the many purchases, and I think that's why he decided to throw this scrapbook in. Cute little girl and her doll, and a daybook page. There's another one of those envelopes. You can just fill it up if you want, or write on it. There's another flip out. This is an authentic postcard. I think it's in German. I can't read a thing on it, but it's gorgeous. And I wish I had a date. Somebody took the stamp off. That might have given us a clue, and I just can't see. Gives a time, and I just can't see it. And another little tuck spot here, and it holds some stamps, trading stamps, and another day page from a little calendar. Oh, there's a cross up here, and there was a little bauble here, and on the first one is a button, like a shank button. And here's another one of those dimensional Valentine cards. This one looks like it's complete. Well, there might have been something in front of there, but it's still really pretty, and it needed to go in this journal. Now it has a new home rather than in a box. Another pretty bird. And here's a little tuck spot, and this was in that original scrapbook that we were talking about. This is a bank receipt for a deposit to the Farnham Bank in Farnham, Nebraska, where my grandpa was born. And then I like this little journal card of these cute little kids. It says the young discoverers. They're in front of a little globe, and I like it that when I put this here, the little boy is peeking. This will be available on my Etsy shop probably later today. This is Saturday, so there's lots of chores that need to be done. Here's another receipt, and it was glued to that check register. This is from 1900 for, let's see, received from John Devine, $1.50, paid in account in full. and it was to a dentist, Dr. Henry Dentist. And that just slips on top of that piece of paper. Here's another little journaling card, and this is the pocket, and it has some lace on the bottom. And here's another tuck spot from one of those envelopes. It has a tall flash card and some more ephemera, original ephemera. And so that just, let's see, it goes like that. And then inside here is a little tuck spot, has some old tickets. There's 6 altogether. Three sets of 2, and then another piece of that check register, and then some of that old Scotch tape that I harvested out of an old photo book. And then here's this pretty little girl. She's from that original scrapbook. This opens up. And I just recently purchased some ephemera online, and I was particularly happy with these because I am the open class manager at our Dawson County Fair here in Lexington. And so these were something I was really anxious to get. This was the Hiawatha Fair Association, Hiawatha, Nebraska, Kansas, first premium, August 30th, 31st, and September 1st of 1922. So this was the entry tag for Dark Cake. And these were together, so whoever made this Dark Cake got first premium. Thought that was just kind of fun. And then in the back, I have this little briefcase, and it's tied together with some string. There's some little cards here from a late 1800s ag book, and I love the images from there, so I made them into journal cards. And you can buy these on my Etsy store. I think they turn out really good when you grunge them all up, and they're held together with a rusty paper clip. And then inside, there's a picture of a cute little boy. This is authentic. And then some more of the receipts from that auction that I went to. And then I put this little birthday greetings book in. I think it was from that auction that these came with, because it was all in the same manila folder that I was keeping them in. Just really pretty and delicate, and about that same era, I'm guessing. So that is the end of this pretty little journal, and I hope you liked it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I'll see you later. Have a good weekend, friends. Bye now.